Hello everyone, welcome! Today we're doing a review of Teslagrad 2, so sit down, buckle up, grab a beer and let's go! Teslagrad 2 is an action-adventure puzzle platformer, and you guessed it, it's the sequel to Teslagrad 1, which came out in 2013. Now let's see what the official description reads. In this game, you play as Lumina, a young Teslamancer who finds herself stranded after her airship crashes in a remote and treacherous land to the north. Embark on a dangerous adventure, exploring a gigantic, abandoned tower looming over a fjordside valley on a quest to get Lumina home back to her family. There will unfortunately be some spoilers in this video. I won't be showing any of the bosses, but some of the gadgets that you find throughout the game will be shown. So if you're planning on playing this game for yourself and you don't really want any spoilers, then I recommend you do not watch past this point. Now that that's taken care of, let's jump right into the gameplay. Much like its predecessor, Teslagrad 2 is centered around using Lumina's magnetic powers to solve puzzles and get from one area to the next. The game still features a linear progression system, but unlike its predecessor, the gadgets you unlock make navigating the world feel super satisfying. There's this one gadget you unlock fairly early, which makes you slide across the floor like you're fucking Sonic or something, and it's pretty cool. And then there's another one which lets you do like a ground pound or zap into the power lines, and then you start chaining all this shit together and it's like, damn, nice. In fact, the movement on some levels is so good that it reminds me of earlier Sonic games. Unfortunately, that's where the praise ends for now, as the game's core has some serious problems. Lumina's abilities can at times feel sort of slippery or jank, making some of the puzzles and platforming segments unnecessarily frustrating. Likewise, although visually striking, few of the bosses were particularly memorable or interesting, and often felt frustrating rather than challenging. However, the biggest problem lies in the lack of rewards for exploring and the poorly told story. The main story only takes 3-4 hours to play through and is told purely through visuals, making the game suitable for all you illiterate degenerates out there. While Teslagrad 1 keeps the story so simple that anyone can understand it, Teslagrad 2 tries harder to flesh out its characters and lore, ultimately failing in the process. Apart from what's happening on screen, Teslagrad 2 features these propaganda-looking screens that tell the story of the red and blue guys, but honestly, following what's happening on screen is kinda hopeless. Like its predecessor, the main reward for exploring the map is finding secret scrolls that act as pictures in an album. The problem with these scrolls is that there are 81 of them and you need an entire set to understand a piece of the story. But, and here's the fun part, you are given absolutely no clue as to where the remaining scrolls are hidden. And even if you by some miracle manage to find all the scrolls, interpreting the pictures is still a tricky task. Finally, not understanding anything but the most basic premise of the story made it difficult to feel invested in any of the characters, who in turn struck me as lacking depth. This is where the game really stands out. Every area is meticulously crafted to create a visual wonder. I mean, just look at this! As for the music, it too is fucking amazing. It's what you've been listening to for the past 3 minutes, and it goes hand in hand with the visuals to create a superbly atmospheric experience. I especially like this one part where you sneak into a shady area and the music hits you with that or whenever you enter the main area and the Viking girl goes all da 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 dum da da dum da la da 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 dum da da dum dum do. So graphically and sound-wise, Teslagrad 2 is a true marvel, easily outcompeting most other 2D puzzle platformers. I played through the game on the Nintendo Switch, and while it occasionally lagged when moving quickly through areas, it never got annoying. On the other hand, I love the fact that the game doesn't have a single loading screen, and that it frequently autosaves so that you can close the game whenever you want. All the buttons can be remapped, but this isn't really necessary as the gameplay is fine as it is. Finally, as mentioned earlier, Lumina's movement can feel sorta slippery at times. This can be frustrating when zapping through the air slightly too early or too late, only to end up dead or having to replay the same part several times. In conclusion, Teslagrad 2 has its moments of enjoyment, particularly in terms of its stunning graphics and masterful music. However, with major issues like a lack of incentive to explore and an unclear main story, the overall experience fell way short for me. I mean, my main motivation for even finishing the game at all and hunting scrolls was so that I could make this video. While Teslagrad 2 features some of the most unique and fun to use gadgets I've seen in a while, these unfortunately didn't make up for the uninteresting characters or the lack of incentive to do anything in the game. I give Teslagrad 2 a 6 out of 10. Wow, you made it to the end of the video, congratulations! Thank you so much for watching and I hope you found the video useful. If you played the game, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later.